Hi everyone, thanks for joining. So appreciate you signing up for the webinar, which will look at a technical overview of Microsoft Teams as a phone system. If you joined us early, thank you for your patience. Before we jump in, we'll do some just basic housekeeping because I appreciate not everyone will have been on a webinar on Microsoft Teams before, so you won't be able to see anyone's face, like for example on Zoom. That's just standard for the platform. It's just you should just be able to see the slides with a panel down the right hand side for questions. Everyone is on mute, and that's just because we've got a lot of content to get through, and we have tried to pack it with useful information, so we don't really want to be getting into dialogues, just to keep the pace going. But what we will do, if you do have any questions, just put them in that right hand column, post them in there, and what we'll do at the end of the webinar is we'll pull the report of the questions from the system, and we'll put the answers in, and we'll email all the questions and answers to the participants after the event. So there are a lot of people on the webinar who don't know us, who don't know who Circle Cloud are, so they certainly don't know who the presenters are. So I think it's necessary to introduce ourselves. So I'm Andrew Ballantyne, that's me on the screen there, Sales and Marketing Director for Circle Cloud. I've been with the business since 2015, joined originally in a sales function in the incipient stages. The business was founded in 2013. And we got the business off the ground, and it made a real success of the preliminary years. And then since then, I moved into various other areas of the business on business improvement projects. So I've worked on legal, security and compliance, and I was responsible for the implementation of Circle Cloud's ISO 27001 certification. And I've since then went back full circle into sales and marketing to drive the company on its next period of growth. I joined that role in December last year. Yeah, so that's me, high level overview of myself. So I'll pass over to my co-presenter, Tom. Yeah, Tom.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name's Thomas Robertson, and I'm one of the co-founders of Circle Cloud. My role is the technical director, and basically my background is primarily networking and cloud computing. And specifically my role here is to help customers design cloud infrastructure and to manage the delivery of that infrastructure, and obviously part of that is Microsoft Teams Voice.
Brilliant. Cheers, Tom. So I'll give you an overview of what we're going to cover today, just so you know just the basic structure of what we're going to look at. So hopefully you go away armed with the information that you need. So firstly, we'll do an introduction to Circle Cloud and setting the expectations for what the content is going to cover. Like I say, you know, a lot of people don't know who we are, so we just need to sort of do a very basic introduction, and then we'll move into the technical overview, which Tom will take you through, and we'll start by some of the fundamental structures within Microsoft Teams and the license, and so the core elements of the product, and then we'll kind of slip quite seamlessly into some of the back-end features. So as you can see on your screen there, phone numbers, auto attendant, call queues, user settings, all the things that you'll expect to see from a PBX system. So yeah, hopefully we'll cover off, like I said, everything that you want to learn, and then after that we'll jump on to next steps so that you know what to expect from us after the event. Yeah, so a bit about Circle Cloud. So Circle Cloud are an ISO 27001 certified Microsoft Gold Cloud platform partner, and we specialize in the design, implementation and ongoing management of the following products. So Microsoft Azure is the first one. Microsoft Azure is Microsoft's infrastructure as a service platform. It's a really beefy product, capable of lots of different things because of its malleability, basically. And we've done a lot of projects in Azure, ranging from basic cloud to cloud backup through to hosting entire server infrastructures in there. So that's Microsoft Azure. No need to go into any more detail on that. Office 365. Office 365 is Microsoft Software as a Service product suite. Most of you will know the product. I imagine, you know, given that a lot of people on the webinar will probably be considering Teams Voice as a telephone system, you've probably already got Office 365 because it's a prerequisite. Teams Voice is part of the Office 365 suite, or at least the collaboration tool is. Yeah, so what a lot of people know Office 365 for are the cloud versions of the traditional products such as Exchange, Word and Excel. But the point I'll leave you with on Office 365 is it actually does a lot more than that. It's a very feature-rich, product-rich product suite, and so to give you an example, products like conditional access and Azure Information Protection, which we covered in a previous webinar, they are great for security and compliance purposes. But yeah, again, very vast Microsoft Cloud product. And finally, on the product side, Microsoft Teams, which is obviously the purpose of this webinar. Most people will have become more familiar with Microsoft Teams off the back of the pandemic, because obviously the drive towards remote working required people to use collaboration tools like Microsoft Teams. So most probably consider it, like I say, a basic collaboration tool. So you probably used it for sort of chat features and to access your SharePoint, your documents, etc. But what we want to show you obviously is Microsoft Teams as a phone system, because that's the way we offer Microsoft Teams. It's our PBX solution as Microsoft partners. Yeah, so obviously that's the purpose of the webinar. We'll do a technical deep dive on that. And the final sort of bubble there is Microsoft Gold Cloud Platform Partners. That's what we are. We were the first company founded in the Northeast to gain Microsoft Gold Cloud Platform status. A point I will make at this point is that you've probably noticed that there are a lot of companies who seem to be gaining Microsoft Gold Cloud Platform status. And so you're right to ask the question, well, what actually is it that makes Circle Cloud different? I think it's a fair comment. So basically what makes us different is that a lot of what we would call traditional IT companies are perhaps retrospectively incorporating the Microsoft Cloud into their IT models because of the drive towards public cloud, whereas it's what we've done since day one. We were set up as a Microsoft Cloud specialist, and since 2013, almost 10 years ago when we were founded, we focused on Microsoft Azure, Office 365 and Microsoft Teams, previously Skype as the PBX. So that's what makes us different. We are really well placed to talk to you about Microsoft Teams as a telephone solution. Yeah. So off the back of our experience with Microsoft Teams as a phone system, we've devised managed service plans. Again, these are really well thought out based on our having worked with the product for a long time now. And so we don't just design and implement Microsoft Teams, we do after management as well, so longer term management. And this is how our plans are structured. So I'll hand over to Tom briefly. He'll just talk you through the elements of the plans. So yeah, Tom.
Okay, brilliant. So yeah, as Andy mentioned there, so basically the two main things that we do with Microsoft Teams Voice is we obviously can implement it for our customers, and we've implemented it for customers a lot over the past 12 months. And we also offer managed service plans as well, to continuously manage and support that for the customers. So I know that's not necessarily what we're coming here for today, but we just want to quickly touch on those and get into the actual technical architecture of the system. So basically we offer sort of three different flavors of managed service around Microsoft Teams Voice, and all three of them basically include full support, which is end user help desk availability, out of hours for sort of high priority and critical instance 24/7 availability, and service requests such as add moves changes, people need number changes, queue changes, auto attendant, all that sort of stuff is included in our managed services, and our managed services team will execute those requests for you. So that all of the support elements are included in all of our plans, but then we've got sort of two key differences between our plan 2 and our plan 3, which is our plan 2 includes like an additional reporting suite that we offer around Teams, and it basically provides sort of like a basic, well, so it's not basics what you get with included with Teams, but ours is more like a contact center dashboard and solution that plugs into Teams and provides your organization with much more granular reporting and live sort of dashboarding for your call queues. And then on top of that, we can also offer call recording as well. So some businesses, for either conflict resolution or for the compliance reasons, need to record their calls, and we can offer that as well as part of our plan 3. So yeah, that's just a quick overview of how we manage and what we can offer with Teams Voice.
Cheers, Tom. Just as a final slide before we go into the technical stuff, which is obviously why people have joined today. Just a few points that 3 key points really that we want you to take away. So firstly, an understanding of Microsoft Teams, how Microsoft Teams works as a phone system on a technical level. That's fairly straightforward. So we're going to show you the kind of back-end configurations. Point 2 is there's kind of like an underlying perception in the market at the minute that Microsoft Teams, because it's such a multidisciplined tool, it's incorporated a lot of various Microsoft products such as SharePoint, such as projects, that it's kind of the phone system bolt on. It might be a bit of an afterthought, but we really want to challenge that myth, and that's one of the points that we want to get across today, that Microsoft Teams is a very viable alternative PBX solution, and it can offer what your current phone system offers and more. And the final point, point 3, is an understanding of how Circle Cloud can help with your plans for Microsoft Teams Voice. So obviously everybody's at a different point in the journey of considering what the next steps are with the phone systems. Just one of the points is just come away knowing of how we can help you on that journey. So that's the introduction done. So I'm going to hand back over to Tom